Greetings Internet, welcome to Aaron Plays and I hope you're doing fantastically well. Well, I've made a return to ambush video where I was saying what mission I was going to do. This is mission 2. I'm just saying if you haven't watched that one, what it is, mission 2. And it's going to be Anderson Squad who are continuing their campaign through the missions in the ambush core box. There are 8 missions in total. They've successfully completed 4 of them, which they won. One of them. Sorry, they won 3 of them, lost one. They lost the first one, the D-Day landing scenario. I will never do again because it's blatantly unbalanced. This is mission 2 in the book, but in chronological order, it's their 5th mission, and I'm doing the missions in chronological order. So if you haven't seen any of the prior videos and how Anderson Squad gets to this point, I would advise you to do. They are good fun to watch. The last one I finished, which was baiting the trap, I finished it in September 2024. Now, as this has been recorded, it's near the end of July 2025. So there's been a big gap. Now, a lot of that gap was caused by the incident, the medical incident, where I didn't shoot many videos at all over nearly a 5-month hiatus, effectively. And also, there was a battle hymn mission 2 ongoing, which I'd started before the incident, and I needed to finish it, and that finished yesterday. So I thought, right, I'd already announced that I was going to do this. I'd done a preamble, which was which was me critiquing my previous preamble to this mission. So I'm not going to go through all the preamble for this, other than say what victory conditions, just in case you don't want to watch the prior video, which makes sense if you don't want to. But I'm going to go through the victory conditions and my approach to this. So yeah, that's it, ready to go. I will explain some of the rules as I'm going through. I'm not going to go into too much crunch because, as I say, this is about my 85th episode of Ambush. So I say if you do need to watch the rules, I'd say go right back to the beginning, even to my fumbling stage when I wasn't 100% certain of the rules. There is a set, and I'll actually put them up. That way? No, that way? I'm still pointing the same direction, aren't I? So this is where it's a mirror image. I want to go to the other corner. It's still going that way. That's it. Got there at the end. Go there. They'll appear over there. I'll put where I go through the rules in quite a lot of details in that corner. As if I remember at the end of the video, that's where I was going to put it. It'll be somewhere on the screen, to say the least. But let's go down to the map and see what is going on. So, okay, so these are my boys. Right, so I've split them into 2 teams. We've got Anderson, the squad leader. We have with him GIBBS, Denton, and Hanson. So GIBBS and Hanson are the weakest of the 2 soldiers. Denton's got the Brownings. The other 3 are all armed with the semi-automatic rifles. Okay, this is going to be my fire team. My assault scout team, led by Baker, the assistant squad leader, supported by Elliot, Clint, who has a bazooka, and Faulkner. Now, I have mentioned I am bringing a bazooka on every mission. They're expensive, but guaranteed when I don't bring a bazooka, that's when an enemy tank appears. I tried that in the Pacific with Alan's squad, and yes, what happened? A Japanese light tank appeared, and I thought, that's it. I've got to downgrade or whatever the other weapons I have to make sure I've got a bazooka on it, because there's no point trying to lob a grenade onto a tank, because it's just not worked for me. So yeah, they've got a bazooka. That means, as I said, I've got no submachine guns, because they're just too expensive compared to the price of a bazooka. I had 37 weapon points. So giving them all the semi-automatic rifles only cost 2 points each. So there are 6 of those out there. And there's 1 Brownings, which is 8 points, and 1 Bazooka, which is 8 points. Then I bought ammo clips. They all come with 1 ammo, so 1 Bazooka shell comes with it. Every gun, rifle, shouldn't use the word gun, gun's artillery. Every rifle comes with a clip, and then I spent an additional 4 points on ammunition, and each point is 5 clips, so that gave me an extra 20 clips of ammo. I then spent some money on grenades, 3 points. That gave me 9 grenades, and the Bazooka, I spent 2 on ammunition there, so that overall I've now got 3 charges for the Bazooka. And then I equipped them accordingly with that ammunition. Denton with the automatic rifle has got, he's fully kitted out. He's got 6 clips of ammo. He has no grenades. That's not his job. So that's how I'm splitting them up. And I'm going to be coming, whereas I did in my previous iterations, which was obviously a training camp somewhere in Ireland, these guys are going to be coming north over the stream here. I can enter from this hex there through to this hex here. I'm taking the training mission, which is up on the videos. You can watch them, and it was a successful mission. They went south through these woods and across. Now I'm going to take Anderson's squad. So I want to see how different it is. I'm going to take them north and through the top here and see how different the actual mission is. The actual mission I shot was about 2023, so it's 2 and a bit years ago. Back in January, was it October? Yeah, somewhere around about 2 years ago. So my memories and recollections, there's been a lot of games in between. And the way the conditions will come out will vary the German defence anyway. So these guys are going to head across the stream here, and I can start on the stream hex. So that sounds like a good place to start. And I'm going to move in with these group of guys first. So let me put them all, I don't want them prone, change their stance to crouch. They'll be all entering in a crouch there. These guys will also be all entering in a crouch, but they'll be coming on shortly afterwards. Change stance, there we go. Where are we going to put them? Let's put them all awaiting to enter. All right, over here. And we'll have these guys all enter. And we're coming in on that stream hex there. So I think we should do one guy at a time. And who's the obvious scout from that lot? It won't be Clint, as he's got the bazooka. So we'll go forward with Faulkner. Soldier F. Okay. Now, what I will do is I will upload onto my comment section. Not a comment section, the comments under each individual video. Under my post sections, I will upload the actual spot sheet so you can follow along with that if you so wish. But Faulkner will be the first dude that enters the map. So what do I need to do? In the welcome video saying ambush is back, I did go through it, but let's have a quick deco just in case you haven't done that. I need 25 victory points to win this scenario. Okay, I gain victory points by scouting through these buildings. There are 19 building hexes, that's 19 victory points, so I need an additional 6 to win the scenario. Once I've accumulated those victory points, I need to either get off the map through the same places where I entered, so anywhere from between A15 and A6, or hole up in this railway station here. Once that's done and I've accumulated enough victory points, the mission will end. Just make sure, I don't think there's... That's the other thing about this game, it does spread the bits of paper all over the place. Yeah, the mission ends in one of 2 ways. All the building hexes have been entered by the US soldiers, and all your active soldiers are in the railway station, or all your active soldiers have exited the map from any valid entry hex. BP loss for incapacitated soldiers can be avoided by moving them off the map or bringing them to the railway station. Okay. If I don't accumulate the 25 victory points, I can still end the scenario, but it will obviously be classed as a loss. That's it. So let us begin at the beginning. So we have Faulkner entering this hex over here. And if you've never seen an ambush video before, you know we're in what are called operations at the moment, operation mode, where I just keep moving until I get told by the paragraph book that we have some activity and we go to rounds. So in operations, I just keep moving my guys, checking each hex, see what happens. In the mission cartridge view sleeve, I am at condition 1. So that card sleeve's in the actual box here. And the activation numbers at condition 1 is 0 to 1. Okay, as you can see, got the trusty dice here. Hopefully you can read them all. The way the camera angle and dangle works, if it falls right at the edge here, you can't see it. I actually have to physically move it there for you to see. So that's the only time. But normally when you drop the dice down the tower, it comes over this end anyway. So dice, because I don't like vassal dice, as my constant viewers will tell you, I have a Rantic vassal dice. I'm using real dice. The grey dice is for the Germans, obviously, and the white dice is for my boys. Oh, notice that's actually got a 10 on it. 0 is 0, and let's make sure that's got a 0 rather than a 10. Yes, there we go. And that's got a 0. Yeah, that's got a 0. And then percentage dice, when they're rolled, black dice is the tens number, white dice is the numerals. That's the dice explained. That's the scenario explained. And Faulkner is standing there, getting his feet very wet, saying, oh, hurry up, dude. So he has entered A6. A6. So I look at that paragraph. Move the A to the 6. And it's got the word none in there. There's nothing in that hex that's going to cause him an issue. Right. He will then crouch into... What should we move along the screen? All right, let's move along the screen. B5. B5. That's also none. So at that point, we'll bring all the other guys in. There. Should we continue? No, I think it's time to move into B4. B4. Right, so we instantly get a S2 102. So as you know, I do like to type them up there just in case I get lost. So we've got 102. Right, so what is that going to be? 102. Roll one die. 0 to 8, no effect. Place an event marker. Okay. 0 to 8, no effect. 3. Place an event marker. Now, when we place an event marker, that means that no one else will roll that again. So, but we know if it's got an S2 there, then we know there's something is around. Okay, so let's continue. These guys follow in Faulkner's footsteps, and then we'll bring the rest of the actual squad into Faulkner's footsteps. I like to keep my guys together as best I can, because you do need to for command and control. Okay. Faulkner moves into Bravo 3. Oh, that was phonetic, wasn't it? And that's got the event word. So with an event word, I have to roll the dice to see what event we've got. Now, I used these dice here for percentages, but I also use them for additions. For when it's an event, you add the two numbers together. Okay, so that is 2. 1 plus 1 is 2. I look under the event paragraph here with an RE of 2. That's telling me to 0, 1, 1. Okay, so type that in there, 0, 1, 1, and then bring up the paragraph book and have a look at 0, 1, 1. Possible random artillery strike. Roll percentile dice, reading the lower digit as the tens number and the higher digit as the ones number. Okay, so this is now breaking my little rule, but this is now dependent on the digits. So the lower digit, so that's 0 and 1, tens number, and the higher digit. This is different from the normal way you read percentile dice, in that you do not declare the tens die before rolling. Okay. The die result is 25 or less. It is 0, 1. Because the lowest ones. So it did work out the percentage, right? Yeah. Roll again, reading the dice the same way. The second result is 19 or less. Use the two dice results together as the hex coordinate. Ooh. Right, so we've got 0, 1, and this time, again, so then it's 91. All right, roll a percent, read the lower digit as the, lower digit as the tens. So that's 19. I better take a little note of this. So far we've had 0, 1, and 19. Okay. Together as the hex coordinates in which the artillery hits. For example, if the first roll was 13, the second is 18, it's hex 13, 18. Okay, so 0, 1, 19. How is that? Because we got our hexes in alpha order. Okay, I'm going to pause. I'm going to pull out the real map there, aren't I? I'm not going to need to. So we know it's, the first one's 01, which is actually A. And then A, and the second one was 19, it's A19, yes. So, which is right at the bottom there. Okay, so as it says, place a crater marker in a hex hit by the round. Unless it is a building hex. Place a rubble marker in the hit hex, building hex, right. All soldiers are killed and vehicles are knocked out in the hex. If either die roll is higher than the limits listed above, the artillery strike occurs off the map. The soldiers hear a distant explosion. So I need a crater counter. Is there terrain? There it is, crater. Boop. Boom! All right. So a little something to worry about. Interesting. And that was an event, so I actually place another event counter in that hex there. Right. Continuing, they move into that hex there, and they move into that hex there. Right, let's continue in this. Is this rubble? No, it's rough, isn't it? Oh, I have to go through the terrain charts. It's rough, as you notice. All right. Going through the rough. We'll then move to that hex there. So that is Charlie 3. Charlie 3. What's in Charlie 3? None. Okay. Moving up. We'll then actually go into the brush here. Denton 2. Well, what's D? Alpha Bravo Charlie. Denton's one of my squad guys. Denton 2. Let's check that. D. That's also got the word event, so we're rolling these two dice again, adding the two numbers together. 0, 2. Yes, the 0 is classed as a 0. Okay, so on the number 2, on the random events column, we have got 0, 1, 1. Okay, looks like we've got some artillery coming in gradually. There we go. All right, so remember the lowest number, 0, 0.
Okay, here's chart number 1CK. Sorry, the new charts are not out yet.
Sorry, if you heard the electronic female device go off there, I do apologise. I need to remember to actually mute her. Bloody irritating. Especially when I don't actually use the name and then it just butts in because it thinks it hears. Anyway, rant over. Right, 0, 0. That's 100 in normal percentile dice, so that's not below 25. Nothing happens. Woo. Other than we place an event card counter marker. There we go. Right, everybody keeps up. We continue. I'm going to head over to the tree line. So that's at Echo 2. That's a none. Are we bringing? We are bringing the river marker with us. There we go. The entry marker. They'll go into there. All right. Echo 2 is clear. We then go into Foxtrot 1. There's the event word again. All right, 7 plus 4, 11. 11. Sends me to paragraph. Oops, not that. 161. Okay. 161. S1 and S2 are required. Go to condition 3. Well, we haven't had any sightings yet, so that doesn't bring anything into other than the event token. Okay. As we continue. Faulkner says, right, okay, I'm going to go into this over here, which is Golf 1. None. All right. So my aim is I want to get to, if possible, over to this hex and then start moving into the village. Okay, so next up is Hotel 1. Right, it's got S4 156. 156. Sighting 4, so this is a definite sighting. Man sees a wrecked Panzer IV in hex L6. Place wrecked land tank mark. Landmark. Wrecked tank, so vehicle. Panzer IV. Okay. In what hex? L6. Lima 6. 4, 5, 6. And it's wrecked. And let's rotate it as if it was going down the road. Okay. That's a good bit of sighting from there, isn't it, Kenny? Technically, he's seeing through a building. So, not quite sure how that's working in the sighting rules, because he can't see through a corner like that. But obviously, as he was moving from this hex here, he spotted it. But anyway, so we've had sighting 4, which for this is, yeah, I marked that on the sightings chart. So that's useful in the sense that we won't have that sighting again. So we found a wrecked Panzer IV. Okay. The rest of the squad, keep up, lads. Indigo 1. Sighting 2, 106. Okay, we're 106. Roll 1 die. 0 to 8, no effect. Place an event marker. Rolls a 2. No effect. And it's the same one we had right back over here. It would help if I press the right button, wouldn't it? So it's the same sighting as that one. Let's go back to events. We won't get that again. But there's obviously something that sighting 2 is trying to trigger. All right, boys, keep up. All right, so we then move into J. Now, what's J in the phonetic alphabet? J, junk. Here we go. We'll call it junk. Junk 1. I know that's not right, but I'm calling it junk 1. And again, S2 106. Roll dice. I know it's a 4, so this time it's still no event. It was on a 1 to 8, nothing, 9, something. Right, okay. I'm going to go the long way around. Kilo 1. Oh, it's still sighting 2, but now it's 127. That's either improved or decreased. What it is 127. Roll 1 die, 0 to 8, still no effect. Rolls a 1, no effect. Does give you twitchy bum times, this though. If any of you have been watching my channel a lot, you know I've been doing quite a lot of Fields of Fire, which gives me the same kind of fun factor as this does, but in a completely different way. Okay, yes, it's a different scale. This is individual man. You have one squad. Fields of Fire, you have a whole company. But it still has that rising tension as you're moving through on this one in a map, in that one you've got cards and you're discovering enemies. I do like that feel, and that's why I really like this game. Lima 1, and it is good to get it back on the table. I've enjoyed Battle Hymn, don't get me wrong, but I prefer what I've seen in Ambush. Lima 1, the last scenario I did in Battle Hymn, which was just finished, yeah, it didn't feel balanced at all. It had a 0. Oh no, don't move everyone else up first. 0 shooting around at night time, shooting the guys up, and yeah, it felt a little bit unfair, to be honest. So I house ruled it. L1 to Lima 1 to Lima 2. All right, we've got that S2 127 again. I am going to type it in, just in case something happens. Electronic female demands I make her a cup of tea or something. Anyway. Dial, still a 1. I place another event marker. It was 0 to 8, or 1 to 8, nothing. These guys are all falling off. Right, okay. So we now can see this building. So we now, well, we've got to go through the buildings. That's what the scenario dictates, isn't it? I don't like moving into the open. So what I'm going to do is move all the other guys up with him there. These guys are going to... do we want to get maximum possible firepower here? Okay. So this time, Anderson says to GIBBS, you go forward. Into that one there. So that is Kilo 2. Go a slightly different route. It says event. And these 2 dice together, 8 and 7 is 15. Right, it's got sighting 1. We haven't had sighting 1, and it's 138. Type that in, 138. And paragraph book. At least it's not me having to change go multiple pages all over the place. It says S2 required. We haven't had S2, so I won't read any further than what that could potentially be. So S2 required, which we haven't had. All I do is place that there. Those guys then say, right, keep up. GIBBS, forward again. Into Kilo 3. Kilo 3, it's S2 112. 112. Okay. 1, 1, 2. Roll 1 die. 0 to 2, conduct activity check. 3 to 8, they're all conduct activity. No, not 9's something else. Okay. Let's see what we get. A 1, 0 to 2, conduct activity check at +2. If successful, see 137. Right, at +2. That's not +2 on the dice, it's the activity on check number here. In condition 1 is 0 to 1. Adding 2 to that makes that 0 to 3. Okay, 1. We have done successful activation. If successful, see 137. Okay, 137. We've had a proper sighting too. German sniper in K7 is activated. Place German 2 in the hex, crouching. Commence rounds, German advantage. German 2 receives 2 rounds this turn. Git. Right, I'm going to pause while I set that up. Okay, there he is. In K7 building, German 2 is actually got the letter N, which means his name is Nyman. And he's a good chap. He is a sniper. He's worth 2 victory points to me, so I gain 2 VP. Now I have been using these counters here to denote VP, and I'll place that over here on the side and change that to 2 hits. 2 VP I've gained so far. Excellent. However, now the bad news. He has an initiative 5. So on here, he's way up here. So he's a bit more smarter than the average German. He's got perception of 8. Weapon skill 2. Not sounding good, is it? He's got a movement allowance of 5. He's fast moving as well. He's armed with a bolt action rifle with a scope, a pistol, a grenade. And then he's got lots of options. It says, on first turn, use the 802 action, unless special condition A is in effect, which it isn't. Okay. It says German advantage, and so they get the initiative, and he will get 2 rounds this turn. So I think we've got a little bit of trouble coming up. A little bit of trouble, sir. Okay, well done, GIBBS. You've alerted the German. You can definitely fire through that aperture. So, good being GIBBS is gonna face a bullet. Right. So we're going into rounds. I'm going to put on here round 1. Okay. Why is that? I hate it when it does that. Well, yeah, little letter and then all big letters because I hadn't changed the caps lock off. Okay. I also use, as a visual thing on the actual map, we are in round 1. There we go. Because there are certain things that happen in the first round. So round 1, perception check for each US soldier who can see the German soldiers or vehicles. All right, so who can actually see down there? Now this hex here is brush. I think brush blocks LOS. I'll probably just need to double check the LOS rules. Yes, brush does block LOS. So the only person that can actually see that German is GIBBS himself. So as it's round 1, he has to do an awareness. So it's a perception check on GIBBS, and his perception is 4. So he hasn't got a clue. All right. So all of the other, everybody else, GIBBS had a chance. They're all in the unaware section. So I'm moving all my guys down there. Boop. There's just Nyman who's aware. Round 2, they'll all do a perception check. And round 3, all US soldiers are aware. Event phase. There is no event phase in round 1. Initiative. Well, the German has initiative, but it's only him anyway, so I'm not going to roll initiative for my guys. The German's got 2 rounds, so we'll stick him up there. And then we roll to see what his activation number is. His activation number is 5. got an activation marker out? 0, 0, dear. There it is, during activation number 5. It tells us anyway that he's going to do 802 action unless special condition A is in effect, in which case roll. So he's going to do 802, which is probably going to be something like fire best shot or something. Let's have a look. 802. Crouch. He's already crouched. Then conduct best fire at closest target. Well, you can only see GIBBS. Fall prone after fire if free stance change available, which it will be. He was already crouched. So he's taking best shot from there at GIBBS, crouching in the bushes. Okay, that's not nice. Okay, so let's go through what we've got here. The weapons chart itself. He is armed with a bolt action rifle with a scope. Short range is 2 to hex, it's definite short range. He needs a 5 to hit. Then the modifiers for that actual shot. He's a +2 weapon skill. Told you this guy's good, so that takes it to a 7. But my guy is crouched in brush, which takes it down to -2. Takes it back to a 5. Okay. Right, the shot rings out. He needs a 5 or less. He rolls a 6. Blimey. Good. He then falls prone. That was sweaty, wasn't it? Right. He then goes down to that number there, and now we roll his activation number again. This time it's a 4. Let's see what a 4 suggests he does. On his little card, we're at condition 1 still with a 4 that says 954. Quite high up on the numbers. 954. Right. Crouch and conduct best fire. Fall prone after fire if free stance change available. If a target is in sight from the east window, put special reaction A into effect for this German. Interesting. From the east window. Okay, so if that's north, we're talking if he sees someone down out of that window. Well, I've got no one down there. So he goes back into crouch and does the same shot. I should have rolled for jam, shouldn't I, actually? Let's roll for jam. On that previous shot, it's only a 5% chance. 26. Now, we don't roll ammo for the Germans. Now we will roll for the jam again. Oh, it nearly went on to 0 then. Nearly. Okay, so the shot rings out again. Same percentage. He rolls. Can you see that, guys? That's a 9. He's a miss. Wow. And that will then conclude that first action round, won't it? Resolve. Yeah, he's done. Okay, hopefully now I can get my guys. He hasn't got a free stance change, so he stays in a crouch. We go into round 2. Round 2. So first off we have is the US awareness phase. Perception check for all US soldiers on the map. Right, so we will go. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll go in activation order. It doesn't really matter. So we're starting with Anderson. He's got perception of 9. He rolls a 0. And I think 0 is low, so I think a 9 would have been an automatic fail. So, yeah, he passes. So he's aware. So let's move him into that section there. We then got Baker. His perception is a 7. He rolls a 0. That's good. Denton. Oh no, we've got Denton. He's got a perception of 6. He rolls a 4. He's good. Clint, perception of 6. He rolls a 3. He's good. Gibbs himself has been shot at twice, perception of 4. He rolled an 8. He's totally unaware of what's going on. Okay, and stays where he is. Then we've got Faulkner, who was the other scout. He's got perception of 7. He rolls a 0. He's good. Then we've got Elliot and Hansen. All right, we'll do Elliot. He's got a perception of 3. He rolls 8. No, he's not aware. And Hansen's got a perception of 4. He rolls a 6. He's not aware. So we've got 3 guys who aren't aware of what's going on. Okay, next round they all will. So now we have an event phase. Okay, 9 plus 3 is 12. So I look at the event paragraph in the condition. Event 12 is 144. So I'll type that in, 144, and we'll then see what that actually is in relation to what we're doing. So if anything, 144. German Storch plane makes a recon flyover. Conduct an activity check +2. If successful, go to condition 2. Okay, so the activation number hasn't changed. It's still 0 to 1. And this is an event. I'm going to roll the black dice. So that's gone to +2, so it's 0 to 3. Roll a 2. We go to condition 2. So we need to remove all the event markers. I've just changed the mission card in the cartridge. Is that remove event markers button? There we go. And then we've got to do paragraph checks for each paragraph, for each hex my guys are in. And these done, make the check in hex number order, lowest number first. So K4, so it'll be this hex, then this hex, then this hex. So starting this hex, we are in K4, K3, Kilo 2. If an event comes up here, we just put an event counter, but don't actually activate anything. K2, it does say event, so we just place an event counter. I just declared, but nothing happens. K3, right, that has got S2. We haven't had, we have had sighting 2. We don't have to worry about that. The sighting 2 is Nyman. Okay, and then Lima 2. Again, sighting 2, which we've already had. So that's the, we've now changed the conditions. That was the random event. We are now into the action phase. So we're rolling initiative. Hopefully I'll go first. I do. Roll a 9 to the Germans 5. That is useful. Doesn't mean it's the ideal numbers on here, but a 9. So we're looking at, where are we appearing on ice? So we only get one action here. And here, Germans roll a 5, so he's got 2 actions there. Clint with a 5 has only got 1 action. Faulkner with a 5 has got 2, so that's useful. These 3 get nothing, though I could give them an order, which maybe for GIBBS, well, Faulkner can't give him an order. Yeah, so GIBBS is still sitting in the crouch going, what's going on? What's going on? Oh! Right, I'm not going to roll the German activation number until we get to the German activation phase. So Faulkner, where's Mr. Faulkner? He's in that hex there. Right, I'm going to zoom a little bit on this now. Now we've got some actual close action. What's going to be the plan? He's a German sniper. He's good. He's been unlucky so far, to be fair. He has been unlucky. And GIBBS is standing there with his butt in the air. And it's unfortunate that he didn't activate. And then I've only got these guys activating on a 5. Because if the commander had been able to activate, he could have given GIBBS, get out of there. But GIBBS is standing there like, he's not panicked. But he hasn't got a clue what's going on. All right, so Faulkner, almost guarantee, hasn't got line of sight, but it's worth a check. It's going through that corner of that building there. So no LOS. I mean, he could move in that hex, a snap fire, but a German crouched inside a building? No, not likely, is it? All right. Now, Faulkner is part of the assault squad, scouting squad, or team. All right. He's going to make a dash to over here. So let's free stance change. And he enters L3. So I've still got to do a paragraph check for every paragraph, even if we're in rounds. L3 says none. Okay. L4. Now, Faulkner has got a movement of 4, so that's 2 so far. Better keep a track of that just in case something else comes up. So this is his second, L4. As the word event, I don't check for events during rounds. That's what the random event for, so nothing happens there. So he's gone to L4. He's got 2 movement points remaining. Can I throw a smoke grenade? I don't have a smoke grenade. Would it be nice to have a smoke grenade to go there? But we don't have smoke grenades, just fragmentation. I think he will go and change his stance to crouch, which costs a movement point because he had his free stance change to stand up. Okay, so let's see what the German is actually going to do. You still can only see one of my guys. So we're over here. Rolling the German number. He rolls a 1. Activation number 1. Okay, so looking on, we're now condition 2 with a 1. It says he does action 955. 955. Okay. Get in the paragraph book. Go to paragraph. We were at 954 for him earlier. 955. If German has been fired upon by more than 2 US soldiers or has been subjected to a grenade attack, put special reaction A into effect and immediately reroll for his action and carry out the new instruction. Otherwise, see 801. You haven't lobbed a grenade at him yet, but this is interesting. So I don't know what activation A will do, but obviously coming from the left, from the east, makes him go to A, and now us shooting at him or throwing a grenade might mean he'll bug out. 801, crouch, then conduct best fire at easiest target. Well, he's still only got one target because GIBBS hasn't put his butt down yet, so it'll be the same shot. First of all, we'll take for jam. 42. No, it's a good shot. He rolls a 7. He's not having a good day, this German. Obviously, he wasn't expecting Americans to be coming through this area or this early at the moment. His aim is off. I know I'm blabbering. I'm excited. His aim is off because GIBBS still not aware yet of what's going on. But, so Faulkner's actually dropped to here and Neyman has dropped to there. Oop, to there. So, I could do these guys in any order I want to. And the first thing I want to do is we've now heard a couple of shots ring out. Ambrose, this is Anderson. Ambrose was the training squad. Anderson makes GIBBS aware. That's his action done. And he's done. GIBBS is now aware, and it goes. Now, does he get an action straight away? I think he does. On my initiative number, which is 5. Might just check that rule. It's placed in the completed space, which is there. Okay, that's fair enough. So he's still got his butt in the air. I will then use Baker's command. He is with next to him. So Anderson's made a noise. Psst! You're being shot at, you fool! And then Baker uses his command to give GIBBS an actual go. GIBBS is like now, oh wow, and GIBBS will move. So this German's got LOS up here. I'm going to, do I keep him crouched? No, he's going to, properties, he's going to change stance to stood up. He moves to L3, which we've checked before, and then moves to L4, and then goes into crouch. Prone. Not prone. Don't want prone. Whoops, my bad. Like that. Crouch. Change stance. There we go. That's GIBBS done. Got him out of the way. Oh, he should be moved to there. Right. What we're going to do now that we managed to keep GIBBS going, so we don't have LOS on this German now. We know he gets twitchy about his left flank because the paragraphs have given us that little hint. So is it time to move the rest of the squad through this building? I mean, there could be Germans in there as well, so we're not sure. Clint, he's got the bazooka. I think I'll move him last. So I'm going to move Faulkner now. He's the one that's already moved here, isn't it? Pondering for thought. I think it's worthwhile having a look through that building. So I'm going to stand him up, change stance, and then move to M4. Mike 4 says none. So that's one movement point. So he's got, where's my D6 gone? Oh, he's got 3 left. Now going through a door is that 1 or 2? I think going through a window is 2. They're all classed as apertures, aren't they? Aperture hexide is +1. Okay. They haven't specified other than that. So he's going to go into Mike 5. Mike 5. None. Okay. So that's him, however, spending 3. I don't really want to be, he's got 1 left. I don't want to be standing there in line of sight or standing there in line of sight because he's already had his 3 stance change. So he now goes into crouch. And that's him done. Right. That leaves Denton, who's got the BAR, and Clint, who's got the bazooka. Okay. Clint, we're gonna. He doesn't want to really be engaged. He's there to take on vehicles. But if we move him into this building, we now know is clear. That might be worthwhile. So let's stand him up. Move into L3. We know that's clear. So that's 1. Mike 4 is clear for 2. Into this building here, Mike, and he changes his stance into crouch as well. That's Clint done. And that then just leaves Denton with the bar. I think we'll move him just to there. Stay in crouch and not get too exposed. Okay, that just leaves Nyman, who we will roll activation dice for. Get all these dice out of the way because he's now got no one he can see. Rolls a 9. Okay, with a 9, activation number, condition number still 2. It says 802. Put that in. 802. Crouch, then conduct best fire at closest target. Fall prone after fire if free stance change available. Well, he's got no target, So that to me reads he falls prone. And there's a little prone marker. If you watch Blue Peter, that's one I prepared earlier. If you're in America, you're probably thinking, what on earth is he talking about? Right, so we have actually scouted out one building here. I'll only, once I've scouted all the 3 hexes, I will then add them up to the victory point total. And 9 men is done, and that ends round 2, preparing us for round 3. But I'm going to pause this video at this point. Well, I'm going to stop this video at this point and then go back up to the top. I do like that sense of rising tension with the with Ambush. There was definitely something there, and it turns out to be a German sniper, and he's a good weapon skill on this. Whew. So if I can bring the details up of him on there, I don't know if you can read that. Unfortunately, the word ambush you can see through there. So, but yeah, he is. Yeah, pause the screen on that. Hopefully, you can see his details. But yes. Let me know in the comments if you found the actual rifle sound that I've got irritating. I don't know. Let me know. I've got sounds for submachine guns, BARs and such forth. I'd like to bring them in, but if you guys find it a bit distracting, a bit cumbersome, a bit irritating, let me know in the comments and I won't use them. But until you let me know, I don't know. Other than that, GIBBS, what a lucky fellow. He must have been wearing his 4-leaf clover, mustn't he? Because that German took, what, 3 shots at him. And thankfully, this dice wasn't favourable to him at all. It was a 60% chance, 0 being low. It was a 5 or less. And then we got him out. Well done. That's the use of commanders. You have one guy to, oi, second guy, move it. And he got out of the way. Thankfully, I won the initiative. With this dice, not very often I win the initiative because even on a tie result, the enemy win. So that came at just the right time. Let me know what you think. If you like the video and you're still here, give it a thumbs up. Helps the channel. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. And any comments, as always, much appreciated. And they all get answered. Now for the boring bit. If you would like to financially support the channel, there's a membership button down below. Or you can do a super thanks, which just gives me a little few pennies for a cup of coffee, or keeps happening these things, but new equipment and such. I have got a new one coming. It's in the post. I think it arrives today. Yay for Amazon. There's a lot of things I don't like about Amazon, but next day delivery, I do. Okay, and free next day delivery, I do. So, anywho, I'm not here to advertise Amazon. I've got no affiliation with them other than they supply me things quite quickly. So, yeah. Until next time, guys, play games, have fun, buy internet. Now I've got to make sure I find the right button.